All right.
Welcome to Live at the Lab. Well, actually, live at the Gardin Farms. We're so excited
Episode 21.
to have you guys
And everyone's here. The whole crew. So fun. Well, not the whole crew. Wega and Nick aren't here. Nick might be coming later, but yeah, just us two here. But we're excited to show everyone around. Spring here, and really, this is Mandy's, like, been her space. And
this is a labor of love from the whole family.
Yeah, I mean, I retired from this place. I'm burned out. But, anyways, we're excited to show you around. I think the most exciting things going on right now, well, oh man, there's so much. Like, raspberries are coming back. We got these grapes we got to figure out. Blueberries are going over there. We got our pasture. We got our new chickens. And that's what, and this is what I'm talking about. But Mandy just finished our food fence, and I think that's where we're going to start, right?
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit, we're going to cover three big things, but also just wherever the night takes us. But to your point, we want to show everyone the really awesome food fence. This is the first year that we've ever done it, and we're so excited about it. The second thing that we want to just show you guys is some of the stuff we have set up for our chickens, and in particular, we have a very broody hen who's named Favs.
I'm going to check something. I'm going to catch up with you guys in one
second. All right, yeah, you go check. We have a very broody hen named Favs, and we said, like, she really wants to be a mom, so let's just do it. So we're learning along with her. She's a first-time mom, and we're the first-time supporters of a mother hen mom. And so we're going to check in on her. She should actually be hatching those babies. So excited. And then the third thing we're going to do is just show you some of the edible perennials. We try really hard to plant as many things that can come back and provide food. And so we've got, as Matt mentioned, raspberries, blueberries, apple trees, cherry trees, elderberries, just kind of stuff everywhere. Some of it's a little bit chaotic, but that's the fun of it. And then as much as we can, we'll just do a little bit of a tour of the entire farm, everything that we have going on here. This really is our playground to learn, to grow, to experiment, to make some mistakes and fail, but always to try again in our pursuit of growing life where we live. So we're just so excited to have you guys with us here at the farm. So I think we're gonna start at the food fence. I've lost Matt, but it's okay. We'll find him. I lovingly planted this week with much of Matt's direction and support. On our walk to the food fence, I'll call out anything cool that we're passing. This is our chicken coop. We'll meet Favs later. She's in this little area raising up her hens. So she's got this whole coop to herself, getting ready for her babies. This is the daytime enclosure for two of our juvenile chicks that are actually babies of our rooster brownie batter. They're about 7 or 8 weeks old now. They come in at night. They're just a little on the young side to stay out. It's still a little bit cool. And then up in the corner there is our main barn where the rest of our flock is, and we'll definitely check that out later. The front yard here, and let's hope the camera stays with us, and if it doesn't, we'll just retreat and go back that way. The front yard here, we have struggled every spring since we got chickens, fencing the chickens out of all of our plantings. I mean, you sprinkle a seed packet and these ladies come running. And so we had this brilliant idea of what are we doing fencing in a property that's already fenced. And so we thought, okay, let's plant a food fence on the outside. And we did all of the seeds one chicken head away from the fence line. And the plants are looking a little bit tough just because they literally were transplanted just yesterday, so they're bouncing back. Perfect.
Yeah, that mic's working awesome.
Oh, amazing.
And this one's
I love this mic. So we planted all of the seeds, one little, they come up, you can see this was covered in rice hulls right up to the fence line, but the chickens have already done work excavating. So where we did plant seeds, they're here so that we didn't make a buffet for them. So we transplanted tomatoes that we had started in the shop. That's kind of the first section here. Then we've got our cucumber section going here. And then the stuff that you can't see, all filled. so much fun putting this together. Matt, do you want to talk about how we did it, the plan for how we built this food fence bed?
Oh man, well, where do we start? So first, with some old skills from my landscaping days about when I was a professional weed whacker, I learned early how to scalp a lawn by accident, and now I use it intentionally. So basically, if you just take a weed whacker and burn, got real tight, so it's just like roots showing, and just destroy the grass, which I did on my first day of weed whacking, because no one told me how to do it, and I just came out. There was like a yellow strip around people's beds, and my boss was forgiving, fortunately. But anyway, so basically did that, and then continued to burn it by pouring fertilizer on top of that, organic granular fertilizer, and also a lot of lime, but like a 444 all-purpose organic with the lime. And then we put worm castings on that we've been cooking up for a while, and then we put like a more even-keeled raised bed soil on top of that. You know, some pretty heavy stuff, good mix of stuff, but like kind of the seeds. Oh wait, no, first, well then we decided to add more worm castings. There's a little bit of
some extra.
And then there's some confusion, and we might have planted a little too close to fertilizer. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to come out great.
Yeah.
And then covered in rice hulls, and for sure, did the chickens?
So the chickens have created this line.
Is that line created by the
that
chickens?
Line
that
is created
is
by the
hilarious.
Chickens. So rice hulls. Have you talked about rice hulls on the show before?
I think so.
Rice hulls are one of.
It's not now.
Oh no, this is good. No.
I don't know. I'm learning. I sounded pretty good actually. It is directional. Figure out technology.
Oh, so wait until it's pointed at us. Okay.
Probably.
I could do that. Let's get it. All right.
I don't know. We should ask. Let me ask them quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah. Can you hear me now, Chris?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Perfect. Rice hulls are one of my absolute favorite gardening inputs. And I was like, people are gonna think that I like work for like a rice hull company because I talk about these things so much. I don't. I just love them. So rice hulls are really cool. When they make rice, they crack the hull off of the rice that we eat, and this is what is left over. So it's a byproduct of the rice industry, and it can be considered a waste product, except very various groups that absolutely love it, like gardeners and chicken farmers that use it.
And brewers.
Brewers, yes! How do brewers use it?
We actually use it to thicken the mash, so when we're filtering the wort over top of it, it actually helps create a screen, so it gets mixed in with all the grains and things like that, so less of the particulate will actually fall to the bottom. And if we recycle it over top of it, it clarifies the beer, and the rice hulls do a great job at taking some of those physical particles out and separating them.
Wow! Gosh, you learn something new every day. That's why I love this place. That is so cool. What's also super neat about them is they're hydrophobic. So you can see like just how dry and light these things are. And so what's great is they do a bunch of things, but they create super efficient watering. So when you blast the soil with water or a heavy rain comes down, I've kind of created a matrix on the top where the water can kind of disperse and move through and not push your seeds out of where you've planted them.
I literally just redid my citrus, so they were struggling. I fertilized, kind of a similar thing. I put like a top dress down with some fresh soil and then covered in a ton of rice hulls. And I watered through, and I checked it after. I was like, is this going right? And it was like perfect because it stays bone dry at the top, but the water dispersed so evenly on the soil. And it was amazing. So even if you like look right here, it's great. Like you'll see, if you push a little aside, like feel the soil's like this perfect moisture right below. This is bone dry, which means insects are going to leave it alone. You know, even all sorts of
airborne weeds can't land on it and grow.
Yep. And then and because it allows so much air through, it's like the most incredible area of soil because there's just like this heavily oxygenated soil that's staying really moist. So I've noticed it's one of the reasons why the chickens are always pecking through wherever we leave rice hulls is because bugs are it's just a microbial like heaven for them. You know?
Yeah, because the bugs can move up really close to the surface of the dirt because you're locking in the water.
In oxygen-rich soil, like oxygenation of soil is like why it's so important, and mosquitoes are showing up.
Oh yeah. We actually have not had very many bugs now that our chicken flock has exploded. They're helping to keep everything in check. The last thing I was going to say about them is as they work into the soil over time, they actually, because they're hydrophobic, they'll actually add some porosity to the soil as well and improve the soil structure. But yeah, go ahead.
It's so funny. People ask us a lot about reusing soil, and it's funny, like most soils just aren't designed to be reused. Like a perlite and peat combo, right, is going to compress, and perlite doesn't break down over time. It just kind of like soil kind of compresses over it, the perlite floats out. This stuff's amazing because I'll just mix this top layer in. Only like fungi will really be able to break that down slowly over time, and it just turns into like this slow breaking, porous material, and you just add more of it year after year. So it's a great input if you're trying to reuse soil. Yeah. Whether in a container or in raised beds.
That's a really good. The last thing, my last rice hull plug is as it breaks down, it adds silica to the soil too, which is you can't beat that, and becomes food for good bugs and whatnot because it's organic.
And we use it in everything. Wait, we're going to show you our chicken coops.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to say about the food fence? I mean, I think we nailed it.
I mean, we're just showing you a preview. Everyone's going to be back in about a month. We're going to try to time our next show here for when there are fireflies, end of June, around summer solstice. And by then, I'm hoping this is like a really actually a food fence we can eat off. Maybe not eat off it, but close to it. So yeah.
All right, let's do it. So let's check out the barn. Do you think we'll make it to the barn? Or should we just go right to Favs?
We could certainly try to carry the obs spot over there if we want to check that area. Why don't we do Favs first while the light's good? Because we can go in the barn.
And I put the
put the lantern in there. Yep. Sick. So we can close out in there, and maybe we'll move the obs spot over. Why don't you show them, and I'll try to get that situated.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to show you my favorite little lady in here. This is our salmon Favarel. Oh, just see the way she immediately woo! I should have let you be in there.
Oh, she's my girl.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing. So
I actually did have to chime in.
Of course you.
She was my lady. Like, I had a special relationship with her. I don't know. She was the biggest, and she was a little feisty. When we got chicks last year, we got a bunch of different age ones, and she was funny enough the biggest. And a little feisty, so I spent a ton of time holding her, and we really connected. And
you really did.
I love petting her, and she's my bud.
She loves you.
And she's a total character, and she wound up, even though was the biggest originally, she's now the smallest chicken we have.
Yeah, and the most vocal.
And she's super vocal, and I had a hunch she was going to be broody, and sure enough, this spring, just sitting on her eggs, and just a good mama. You gonna let me?
No. Nobody's allowed in, and that's usually your girl.
Watch this, yeah. All right, I'll let you be. I get it. I respect it.
So she's sitting on blue and green eggs from our rooster brownie batter. So we know that they're not her eggs because she doesn't lay blue and green eggs. She lays tan eggs. But chickens are super cool moms in that, they'll bond with any eggs and any chicks that they hatch. So she's going to do a great job with this little brood. She started with 6, and if you've watched any of our, latest little show that we're doing with her, which is a hen's guide to raising and hatching chicks, I filmed the other day. She jumped out. Hens will come out of the nest just once a day to use the restroom, to go to the bathroom, to eat and to drink, maybe have a little dust bath, and then they're back on the eggs for the rest of that, 23 and a half hours. And so she had jumped out when I was doing some stuff around the farm, and I noticed she was in the nest box that we'll go check out later that's in the main kind of coop. I noticed that there was a bunch of other eggs in there. And hens are really cool. They go through a hormonal change when they're when they're becoming broody, when they're sitting on a nest, and they stop laying eggs. So in the spring, female hens lay about an egg a day. But if they're sitting on the nest, they go through that hormonal change and they won't lay any more eggs because, of course, they're waiting to have these ones hatch and be able to get up off the nest and raise them. So the fact that there were other eggs in the nest meant that some other hens were probably, kind of bullying her out of the nest and laying eggs. And so, 1, we don't want her bullied out of the nest. We don't want her having to leave those eggs. But 2, we don't want those other hens to inadvertently hurt the eggs that we're trying to hatch up. So we made the executive decision to scoop her up about 2 nights ago. If you do have to move a broody hen, you want to do it as early as you can. As far as in the incubation period, it is riskier to move the eggs the later that you get, especially after day 18. They call that the lockdown period. And it's great to do it in the evening when they're tired. What's that? Oh, we froze. Oh, it's okay.
Andrew, are we froze on live?
We're froze there. We froze on live. Oh, wow. I'm still here. All right, good. We're just making sure it's still working. I just have to thank you all enough for sticking with us while we crack these codes of like, we're going to live stream. So thank you, everybody. So yeah, the last thing is, so we moved her 2 nights ago. We're a little worried first-time hens can abandon a nest anyways. And she's been great. And she's hunkered into her new nest. And now we don't have to worry about anybody bothering her, and this is a much better setup for when the babies hatch as well, because she'll kind of have this little palace all to herself. She's got this whole coop and this little nesting box, or excuse me, this little roosting kind of box as well that she can go into and out of with her babies. So we're so excited to see what comes of that. Should we check out the juveniles, just because who doesn't want to see a baby chick? And then we can walk up to the barn once he gets like this is chocolate chip and marshmallow. Chocolate, let's see if I can grab one of these. Okay, they're right. And just, you can't skip an opportunity to get a close-up of a baby chick that's so adorable. So you guys can see they're doing great. They're fully feathered, but you can see these little wisps that are on her head are the kind of the last of her down. And those will just kind of fly away over time. You're a good girl. All right, she just was like, that's it, I want to be with my friend. And both of those guys are brownie batters babies, our rooster. I don't know who their moms are, but they're definitely his kids, because we only have one rooster on the property. Should we attempt to go into the barn or not yet?
We are all up.
All right, well, I was going to say, should we see if we can make it to the guinea pig grazing pagoda?
Yeah, go towards the guinea pigs and make sure.
All right, bonus, guinea pig pagoda wasn't even mentioned in the description or at the start. We have 8 rescue guinea pigs. If you watch all of the content from our channel, beautiful babies for. And we kind of, look at how cute they all are. We kind of created this adorable just little box. Our kids can sit in here, and then we can kind of move it around the lawn and just give them some fresh grass. We also were all eating watermelon earlier, so they're eating the rinds. And it's just so much fun to see them all kind of just doing what they do, moving around and being outside. Unless it was out here, or Sunny. Come here, Sunny. Sunny's really good with them too. Just leave them out here for the day. Obviously, a great target for a predator, whether it be a fox or a coyote or a hawk. But when Sunny and I are on the job, we can make sure that everybody stays safe. And pretty much all the predators have gotten the memo that Sunny patrols this yard, so we really don't have too much issue, which is great. You can see him slinking off right now, making sure nothing is on the fence line, so he does a really good job, and he doesn't ever bother the guinea pigs, which is really good. All right, should we walk? Well, we can wait to do that. Want to look at some of the perennials? Yeah. All right, let's do that. We'll wait till we get the official word.
This looks like it's my max distance as well.
Okay, so yeah. Well, let's do these ones, and we'll check some of the, and we can just talk about some of these areas. So it's a little, I'll stand here, but it's a little hard to see just because we haven't cut back the grass, and we kind of do that on purpose. We leave sections that we just kind of let go wild for a little bit, especially if they have clover or alfalfa seeds in them. They're actually grabbing nitrogen from the air and putting it back into the soil, so we don't actively cut those down. But if you can see through that kind of tall grass, there's some big bushes pointing out, and that's our blueberry island. Where we have a bunch of blueberry bushes that we can walk up and eat. This bush here next to the rock is elderberry, which is, I've been told, is very high in antioxidants, is just great to have growing in your yard. And then this kind of insane patch with all the sticks and everything else over my left shoulder are just raspberries and blackberries. And it's just so much fun. We literally do, we call them farm walks, where we just walk with little bowls and just pick out tons of food. And it's just, you can't beat that. We do also have grapes growing on the back deck, just over your shoulder, Patrick. And so we actually need to come up with a plan, more permanent trellis. Did I hear that you may be able to give us a plan on this?
I can, yeah.
So we kind of got like really excited. Like, wouldn't it be fun to grow grapes? And so we bought the, what do they call that? Canes? Is it what's like the stick you get? Yeah, it looks like a stick. It's obviously not a stick. But we bought grape plants and kind of just, we're like, we'll just put them in. And they've done wonderful. And now we need kind of a more permanent plan.
Let's go take a look.
Yeah, you think we can make it? Okay, yes. So here's more all of the raspberries. You can see them all just coming back with a vengeance. They shoot out. Their branches will kind of shoot down into the ground, and then those branches will become roots, and then they'll reshoot out. So like, just like the most prolific plant ever. So it makes you feel like you really know what you're doing when your raspberry bushes grow. You're like, yes, I've got this, but it's actually like they're insanely easy, and like they're actually kind of a nuisance. But so like, we've got this like little makeshift bamboo trellis, which is great. And we've got, you know, a couple of our much older plants. We've had these for a number of years, kind of growing up on this fence line here. But our dream, and I'm totally open to any feedback if anyone watching has ideas, I would love ideas on what to do here. We're thinking now, which we've been slowly building up. This used to be like super depressed, like it was kind of like, you know, not flat and down. We're thinking it would be super cool to build some sort of more permanent wooden structure that we train the grapes to come this way, and then you could sit in here and kind of look out at the forest and be sitting underneath your grapevines in the summer. So anyways, that's, you know, a project for another day. But in the meantime, if you're thinking about doing something like this, just do it. Plant it. You'll figure out the rest later, right? Spoken by a true gardener. Just get them in the ground. Like, yeah, like we have some over there on the ground. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. But we put them in and we'll figure it out. And here's the other thing. If you're ever like, I don't know where to put this, I'm not sure what to do, just put it in if you love it. And you can always dig it up and move it. You know, when you buy apple trees or whatnot at, you know, at a store and bring them home, it's somebody that and then dug it to give it to you. So it's like, just get it going. It's a little shaky, yeah, or we can move in. All right, what else is, we can walk over and see if the barn is set up yet. We might be able to swing around front and we can check out kind of the stuff that we're doing to the lawn. You can see what everyone kind of says. You can see all of our cords. We're trying to crack this nut of live streaming away from the Wi-Fi.
Yo, let me just see. I think we're gonna have to put that guy down and switch the obs.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Let me just make sure.
Yeah.
Is the audio working? Do you test quickly?
They're testing it. Well, Patrick, while they're working on that.
Is it good? Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Saying and just
how
have
could
like
that
the whole lawn be some of it, but then we leave patches of the stuff we love, like really cool little wildflower patches, and then we try to leave as much clover patches as we can. Clover literally grabs nitrogen from the air and puts it back into the soil, so it's a nitrogen fixing plant. So you get free food for your grass and anything else. And the other absolute wonder about having a clover patch on your front lawn is that you might be lucky enough to get a genetic mutation gives you real life 4-leaf clovers, and I picked one earlier today for Andrew, and of course now I'm under the gun to find one, but they're all in here, and it makes you just feel like, you know, free fertilizer, free food for bees, and free luck. Like, how can you beat that? Is that one of them? No. All right, of course I'm not going to be able to find one when I'm sitting with all of you guys. Oh, is this one? Yay, I got one! So you can see. I mean, did you guys even know that there's real life 4-leaf clovers? Like, I had no idea. So our kids love it. They sit and pick them and give them to their friends. And I love it. So we try to do a little bit of lawn and a little bit of everything else. You're back!
I think we're good.
Yay! All right, are we switching to ob spot?
Yeah. Let's take this guy down. Probably we can use this as a controller for the ob spot. I'm not sure if Chris is trying to get the app to control it, but you want to switch over now, guys? Let's give us a moment. You want to... You got... We are... Here, unmute yours.
Okay.
Cool. Let me go double see what's going on.
Yeah.
You want to start talking? Oh,
Definitely. Okay. Yes. Everyone's just getting
Brownie
situated for the evening. Yeah. Wait, can you see me? Do you want me to, hi. Let me know if you guys can see me. Is it working? Yes. I'm so impressed that you guys got this going. This is like no man's land for Wi-Fi, so thank you everyone for hanging in there.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right, is it? Should I start chatting? Oh, there's an adorable little boy over through the window. What's up, buddy? I don't.
So yeah, so is he controlling it? Because it's not pointing anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's moving, but I can also manually spin it if you want. Or I can just stand in front of it, yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna at least just kind of, I think you guys can hear me. And if you can't, you'll just see my lips moving. But Matt and I built this kind of, I guess, barn, but gigantic chicken coop this summer because we really wanted the chickens to have plenty of room should they need to be inside. So either, really bad weather, bad snowstorms, or like what happened this winter, bird flu. So avian bird flu was going around. It really wasn't safe to let your chickens free range. So our aim is always to let them free range as much as we can during the day. But you can't always do that. So we built this barn, was saying like, okay, if we had to shut the door and we had 20 chickens inside and they had to stay like that for a couple weeks, which certainly when bird flu was going on, we did do that. Based on the advice from our friends at the New England Wildlife Center, as well as, just what was being reported was that you should not have your birds free ranging. We didn't feel terrible. Obviously, they were dying to get back out, but it was nice that, that they had the space. So we kind of broke the barn into two pieces. This back half here is kind of this open air coop. We left the wall up because we have a neighbor through there and Brownie Batter likes to crow pretty early. So we thought, maybe we won't poke a hole through the back wall for air ventilation. They've probably got plenty with the two windows here to try to help muffle the sound a little bit. And then we've got, Matt, can I manually move the op spot? Can I manually move it?
Well, kind of, but you can't see it. Where are you trying to get to?
I was just going to show them like everything that's here. Like here's the, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever. So just going to show, we've got these, Matt actually recently got these. We've got, I don't know if you guys can see, we've got these two kind of hanging feeders, which are really good just to, it cuts down the amount of waste from like a feeder that they can just tip over on the ground. And then of course their water. And actually, I would love.
And
Matt,
the big thing too, honestly,
do you want to talk about that thing that you
was rodents. Are we in the? Is this a good shot or?
Yeah. I can also,
Yeah, I don't know. Are we in the shot?
Oh yeah, talk about how
should we get down? Okay.
Lower. Okay. Or yeah, talk about how we rodent-proof this place.
So the big thing, like with this barn, we had them in our garage, and rodents showed up, rats included in that, and as few as they are, it was a really big problem. And so like the thing I've learned, and a lot of people will tell you, is like with chickens, like rodents will follow. So this coop, we worked really hard to rodent proof in a bunch of ways. And even like, even if they can get in here, we're keeping the food off the ground a little bit. I mean, there's a ton of food here. This is something you got to be really cautious of. This is the type of thing that will create a rodent problem. But we have hardware cloth underneath this. We have walls building up the sides, hardware cloth everywhere. The only points I'd ever worry about, we have a little bit of an area in the door. But once they start getting in there, they figure out how. So like the best, to me, like the best thing with rodents is just to never let them discover that there's food here for them to get.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Yeah, we plugged all the rafters up here and everything.
Metal bins.
Yep, metal bins with lids, stuff like that. And I have a confession to make. I think when I filled those up, I spilled, and I put the food down, which is why you should fill your feeders in the morning so that any food that falls, your chickens will eat throughout the day. And then at night, when you're likely to get rodents, being like, I wonder if there's food in there, there won't be anything on the ground. And some people even remove the food from their coops in the evening, but we've just had really good luck with the proactive rodent proofing that we haven't had to do that, and I usually don't fill them at night. So
yeah.
Sorry, I messed up.
No, don't.
Do you want to talk about the compost, and then we'll show them roosting?
Yeah, just show them the roosting areas.
I haven't shown them
We haven't
roosting.
started the compost yet, but we have a composter in here, and I've been like on the fence a little bit about it, but the idea would be.
It's a super cool idea. To be honest, we also don't have a ton of extra food scraps.
Yeah, it's true.
The guinea pigs.
Yeah, we don't have much to compost anymore.
Yeah, we don't. The guinea pigs eat like all of our rinds and strawberry tops and, you know, apple skins when the kids want us to take them off. And then the chickens eat anything that's not those things. So we don't have a ton to compost. But the idea is if you compost it in here, you know, and especially if you were using worms in that compost and, you know, good bugs like soldier
We should put the mealworms in here.
And the mealworms, they would slowly
I bet you honestly with how
through
dry it is under here, I mean the chickens would just find them so quickly. But the mealworms would theoretically do great breaking down this sort of stuff. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Should we move into the, so this is the run. And one thing with our run, right, I did not, most people would do a run where they'd put hardware cloth all the way to the ground. And I was like building the whole structure and I just decided, you know, we talked about it and I was like, I feel like this was the best move ever because it stayed really dry in here because snow drifts weren't pushing into the coop, into the run. So the run, and also like predators see this wall, they're not going to mess with it. Hardware cloth's not cheap, so it's not like moving to plywood was that much more money to do than hardware cloth.
Point.
And it just feels like now it's an actual structure. Yeah. So we just cut basically a 4x8 slice of a window out on both sides and made it hardware cloth, and it definitely keeps it a little cozier in the winter in here.
So I have a question, and we're going to show you what all the chickens are doing right now because almost all of them are in the barn. They're all roosting above our heads.
Yeah.
And they, I don't know if the OBSBot can see it, they absolutely love it. And I know some people prevent their chickens from going up high, and I don't know if it's because of rodent issues and things like that. But oh my gosh, do the girls love it. And of course, Brownie Bat, I don't know if you can see him. He's over in this corner being absolutely adorable. And then also, you guys, when you have chickens, they form these little chicken friendships, which is adorable. And so this adorable little pair here, that the black chicken is Penguin, and she's one of our oldest chickens. She's our original girl, and she's sitting next to Tulip, who was also, we also raised as a chick with her, and they both have been on the farm the longest. And every night, you can count on it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. Pengy.
I'm sorry.
Her wing.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you can hold out.
So I did disturb them a little. I'm sorry, Penguin. Maybe you didn't feel.
Every night, they the two of them sit together. Tulip and Penguin are always right here. This is their spot. Nobody else takes it.
And, well, I just messed it up.
Well,
she's feeling heavy. This is good.
That's
it's got
good.
some meat on her.
She's the boss of the farm, which is really,
you can pull that.
Sorry, I had that too close. And then, one thing else I want to mention. We're so
sorry.
fortunate.
I messed her feathers.
I know, it's okay.
She's very upset with me.
We're so fortunate to have obviously made a lot of space and not put a ton of birds in it. Okay. All right.
You weren't feeling it tonight. You don't like the camera. You don't like the camera. I seriously normally pick her up and it goes a lot smoother. Of course, that was ugly. But,
you know what's also funny? They always sit like this.
I'm
She
sorry.
sits with her head tucked in and she sits with her head poked out.
And it's funny, Wega was saying, he said, I was like, I don't know why. These two are kind of in charge. And it's kind of sad. There's the old third member who I don't know, she doesn't hang with them anymore. But nonetheless, they stay on this lower roost every night and everyone else is up above. And Wega said that his top birds also do that. They stay slightly
a little
lower,
bit lower.
which I thought was interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah. I've always wondered that. I was gonna say I just want to show you guys really quick our nesting box. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah,
Oh, good,
pull
you're
this guy.
following me. Yes, our nesting box. I have yet. I put this little kitty litter scoop here. to clean it out, and I've yet to do it. And you can close it up at night, which is really cool, and I've yet to do that. And the reason is nobody sleeps in here, which is just amazing. So we don't deal with any, you know, poop on the eggs. Of course, occasionally a chicken will step in poop and then jump in there, so it happens. But for the most part, we don't, because they all want to be up high. Nobody wants to be in here, so it's worked out really, really well. And then nobody is sleeping in here and going to the bathroom in here, so I never ever clean it out, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the bottom row is the most popular rooms at the inn.
Heck yeah. You know, like it's one thing, the bigger and the more space you have and the more you're integrated with your outside environment, you know, we position it in a really dry space, which is where chickens want, but these things make everything easier, more enjoyable to care for chickens. We were in a, you know, when you're in a smaller coop, you know, often what's recommended for care, it's just like, not only is it terrible for the birds, but taking care of that situation is not fun.
Yeah, they're just gonna make it dirty really fast.
I mean, don't get me wrong, this was really hard.
Yeah, not everyone can do something like this, that's for sure.
We couldn't. And
we somehow did it.
You know, once we got started, there was no turning back. But
it
was a hard summer
winter,
for, you know, but it was good.
Fall, I should say.
So.
But it was worth it.
Definitely had, after we got it done, I was like, oh, it's done, we can put the chickens in. I was like, all right, you know, you get anxious about stuff, but yeah, it's really nice. And now the key is not to overcrowd it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. We could, whatever space you have, underfill it.
Yep.
You know, like we could definitely fill this up with a bunch more birds, but then they would be sleeping in here. This area that we kind of are doing the deep bedding method, we definitely would have to clean out often, and instead we're just adding rice hulls, adding wood chips. It doesn't smell in here because there's space. So I think the takeaway is whatever your space is, go less than the maximum.
Yeah,
It'll make your life
more
easier.
enjoyable. Yeah.
And it's more enjoyable. That's a really good point.
For sure. So,
anything else on the barn, Matt?
I think that's all. And I mean, it's...
What time is it?
7:45. Anything else we want to cover
yeah,
tonight,
anything,
you know?
anything that anyone has asked that we should cover.
Yeah.
I know we just blew right through
It's kind of a different sort of show tonight, and we appreciate everyone for being here. Should I pull this guy back out? Move out?
Good night, everybody. Oh, look at everybody up there. Good night. Good night, little princess.
So, yeah.
Good night, little princess.
This is my sweet parkour course. I don't like, you might notice, I don't like removing lumber. I think
show them
that,
how to do the course? Go ahead.
You know, you see trees, you know, being pulled out and chopped, and you lose all that carbon, you know, and so this is the good stuff over time. This is what mature, you know, an ecosystem wants. So I always try to just incorporate all the lumber in, and I wasn't sure what to do with these guys. I'm gonna break my leg doing this.
Yeah, so it's an obstacle course.
But we have a sweet obstacle course here.
I try to step on every block.
Oh, I like that. That's hard. There's a lot. Whoa.
So yeah, people can probably hear you guys. Just a heads up. Oh yeah. I think it should be.
Am I in the way, or you like having to go around me? Do you want to sign out, or is there anything else you want to show everybody? Or any comments to address?
Yeah, I think we're good, right? We good for tonight? Is anyone...
Sonny, get out of there. Sonny, come.
Do you want to hit...
Sonny, come. Come.
Do we want to... Oh, Sonny's with the guinea pigs. If we want to see that, we can walk over to that.
I did show them the guinea pigs. We certainly get to them again.
Oh, what's going on over here?
Awesome.
Stepping on every block. Is that good for you?
Look at this one. Can you turn it towards...
What is up with this chicken? Oh, go this way, head this way. All right, no, you're all right. Do you want to sign out?
Yeah, I don't... He doesn't know what's going on.